Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Crafty Concepts with Erin. I have a scrapbook layout for you today featuring the new Seas and Greetings collection from Close to My Heart. I'm actually pretty excited to cut into this paper pack. It's super cute. So on one side you have a beach themed Christmas, on the opposite side you have a winter themed Christmas. This is the coordinating sticker sheet. So you can see, for example, we have the snowmen that have shells for buttons and they kind of have a sand look to them, and then your traditional winter snowmen and little palm trees wrapped in Christmas lights. So if you visit the beach for Christmas or live in more of a beach climate, then you're going to love this. But I am using the winter themed side of this paper collection today. I want to show you the pattern papers. Everything's double-sided, so if you can't use one side, you can always use the other. So it's good to have options. But these are the pattern papers that definitely have a theme. So there's the snowmen with little hot cups of cocoa or coffee and the, snow flurries and pine trees in the background. The opposite side is the beach themed version with our little snowmen wearing Santa hats. The next pattern paper, one side is winter themed with a little scarf and little snow beanies and mittens and snow flurries in the background. The opposite side are flip-flops. And then this word or text paper, this is more of the beach side, and then this is the winter side. And then the text, it looks the same, but they have different words. One more geared towards beach and then winter. And then we have snow flurries. On the opposite side are sand dollars and shells. And how pretty would this just be for a Christmas, just beach in general. So super pretty. I think it's very usable. So opposite sides, we have the peachy melon color on one side and then the green apple. And then kind of these hand-drawn squigglies with the stripe on the opposite side. There are also little acrylic shapes, one for winter, one for beach. And as I mentioned, I don't have any Christmas beach photos, but we do go to the beach. So I definitely wanted these because look how pretty those are. There's just like a little crab and a shell, a little sea star, and these are nice and thin. So very fun to add some texture onto your layouts without adding too much bulk. And they have kind of a frosted look to them. So I think those are really pretty. And then the embellishments for the winter, there's snowflakes, some title options that says Wonderland. There is one in here that says winter, so you can put those together and make Winter Wonderland. There's a stamp for each, so this is the winter, and there's that cute deer again. And then the beach, and each one of these shaded in this kind of bluish color has a coordinating thin cut die that comes in on its own magnetic sheet. So that's really nice for organization there. Everything kept together in one spot. So let me clear this up and bring in my VersaMat. I did end up getting the entire bundle, so there is cardstock as well in all of the coordinating colors with this collection. And if you're not familiar with Close to My Heart cardstock, the cardstock is two-toned. So here's two sheets that are the same color, but if you flip it over, you have the lighter version on the opposite side. So it's really kind of two in one, and I love using the different shades to create more depth on my layouts. This is going to be a single page layout. I went ahead and pulled these pattern papers and some cardstock to complement my photo. This is my son Hayden, and he's an avid mountain biker, and he's not going to let the snow stop him. In fact, it was just tons of fun for him to ride his trails around our house after this winter storm last December. This was actually the day after Christmas, and we were just out enjoying the beautiful scenery with all the snow on the trees. That's my favorite, when the snow is still up on the trees. It's just kind of magical. So his bike is actually this color, and then his goggles kind of have the orangey, peachy orange tone, so that's perfect there. And then the pine for the pine trees, and of course the whole snow vibe going on. And these snowmen are just too cute. So I think that's going to be a nice color palette, and I am following a sketch. It turns out my friend Melanie is a talented sketch artist. She created this layout, she created a sketch and this layout, which I will leave her video linked in the description box below, but I absolutely love all the layers here. It's fabulous. So I'm going to use that sketch for my winter layout today. So let me go ahead and clear this off. We are going to create a frame style layout, so I'm going to leave the pine cardstock there. This main snowflake pattern is going to be my background. I love that. And then I'm going to accent with the snowmen and this winter text. Those are going to be layered up behind my photo. The picture is printed in a 5x7. And then I thought it would be fun to add a pop of color with this pattern paper. But you know what? So little of that pattern is going to be visible. I'm going to switch that out for cardstock. It's hard to appreciate on camera, but his goggles are that same melon color, and it really helps draw your eye to my son in the photo. I've selected this zip strip here because we have Lagoon, and that way I can draw this color over to the right-hand side of the paper. We'll just accent a little pop of that peeking out from behind the cute snowman pattern paper. So it turns out I'm kind of in love with this Christmas Story scrapbooking stamp. This tree is so pretty. It's designed to be a Christmas tree. There's a Christmas stand and some garland, a title that reads A Merry Little Christmas, and even a star. But I'm going to use it to be the base layer for my embellishment cluster on this winter layout. So I know I'm going to be able to use this tree for my camping pages, my hiking pages. I just love it, and I'm happy to have it in my stash. So I'm using a piece of white daisy. I have selected pine ink because that is a featured color in this paper pack. You can see the pine color in the pine trees on the little snowman pattern paper. So I love it when they put all these colors together for you and they have them listed. It really takes the guesswork out of it because everything coordinates so beautifully. I'm going to ink this up a second time. When you have a large stamp like this, having a stamp positioner is very helpful. So that looks pretty good. I can go ahead and get this die cut out. And as I mentioned, you can cut out the Christmas tree stand or the star. There's dies for that as well. Now we can put this on either corner of the base of the photo here, but I'm going to keep with Melanie's sketch and build my cluster over on the left-hand side here. Let me bring in my December daily album. I'm having so much fun with this, but there is the same tree. I put a little red sequins on there to dress it up, make it festive for Christmas, and I'm having so much fun with that album. So I want to bring in this snowman. I'm slightly bothered that he's facing the opposite way because I like them looking into the layout, but I'm going to go with it. The other snowmen aren't quite the right color, so we're just going to make that work. Now we have the acrylic embellishments here, and this comes with the blue pieces inside. So you get the inner and the outer portion, but you can also pop in the white letters. So you have options here, and I really like the contrast. I think that pops really well, so I'm going to use that for part of my title, and we'll just layer it right under the photo. That's going to fit perfectly. You'll notice I'm placing my embellishments, the tree, the snowman, and the title in an L-shaped formation, framing in the photo. That is always a great thing to keep in mind when building embellishment clusters. Framing in the photo like this is usually very helpful in drawing your eye to the photo, and it generally works very well. So we're popping in the little letters here. It's like putting together one of those puzzles where you just pop in the shapes, and then there's the inner portion as well for the R and the E. So we'll just get those. Oh, there's Sybil. Let me go ahead and relocate her. Actually, Sybil wants to remind you that if you are enjoying this video, go ahead and boop the like button. Thank you for doing that. Much appreciated. I have this pattern paper. This is from the Four Seasons Winter, and it has this really subtle birch bark pattern on it, which is just beautiful for winter. And Melanie on her sketch has all these great layers, so I wanted to tuck that in just to kind of give some separation. Now, I'm thinking she has a tag up at the top, and I'm thinking this pine color is going to work well to create that diagonal line with my tree shape in the lower left-hand corner. I didn't see it until the layout started to come together, but I'm really glad that I am following Melanie's sketch exactly with my embellishment clusters, because you'll notice in the photo, my son is following that same diagonal line from the upper right down to the lower left. So if I had flipped the sketch, it kind of would have been working against my photo. It's the little details like that that really make a big difference. I have a couple stickers from the coordinating sticker sheet. This one says right now. I'm going to layer that over my photo, and then this little snowflake sticker here. And then I want to add one of the blue acrylic snowflakes down here to the lower left. I think that looks nice. Now, I did a little stash diving. I have this very old stamp set. It's called Winter Reflection. There's a quote on here, and I absolutely love it. It's one of my go-to quotes for my winter layouts, and I thought it worked really, really well for this layout in particular. I'm going to stamp this in Archival black ink on this little circle that has faux stitching detail. I just die cut that out. It says, "In the depth of winter, I finally learned that within me there lay an invincible summer," by Albert Camus. Totally appropriate, right? I'm going to add this to the embellishment cluster on the upper right, and you'll notice I'm creating an upside down L shape on this embellishment cluster, again, framing in that photo. I have liquid glass adhesive to adhere all the acrylic pieces. This is very strong, works very well for the acrylic. Now, you only need a couple dots, because if you are a little generous with your application and it squishes out, it will dry with a shiny finish. So just something to keep in mind. Just a few little dots on the bigger pieces here of the acrylic, and that will definitely hold fast. You can also use micro glue dots. Those work very well also. So we'll go ahead and get that set. You may need to hold it for just a moment while the glue dries. And for the title, this outline piece is pretty thin. So as I apply the acrylic glass, I'm just putting it on the inner portion. So if it squishes to the inside, it's not a big deal, because it's going to be hidden when I pop the white letters into that negative space. So just barely adding a few little dots. We will layer that under our photo, and then I'll go ahead off camera, but I can just kind of fill those troughs with a little bit of liquid glass and then pop those letters. I will add more to my title. I'm just kind of thinking on what I want my title to be. There's a lot of little, winter fun, winter ride, a lot of different things we can go with. So hang tight to the end to see how I finish off my title element. I just about have these pieces popped in. We can't forget the center of the R, and then this little piece for the E, and we will move on and come back to the title later. I have this giant bag of ribbon in my stash, and so I selected this one because it complements the blue color of the title, and I don't have any of that color up in the top corner here, so I thought this was a good choice. Nothing fancy, I'm just going to loop it through, and it's so nice to make a tiny dent in that ribbon stash. I don't care if it's small, you're like, yes, I used it. So I like to cut those at an angle, and actually I'm going to cut those a little bit sharper, just like that, little tiny trim, and done. For my journaling, I am measuring the inner portion of my tag. I can create a text box and size my text to fit. I do have a video showing how I do that, which I will leave listed in the description box below. But this way I can use my tag die to cut out that journaling so it has a nice, fun shape to it. Now, I learned this tip from my fellow crafty friend, Katie, and it was so clever. I thought, how smart. I usually create a pocket on the back with paper, and this is way easier. I'm using a 3x3 flip flap. We have the adhesive strip, but I'm going to cut that off because I want my pocket flush to the top of my page so my tag doesn't slip too far down behind. I'm just going to adhere this with some tape runner, and again, I'm just looking at the front to make sure I have the location lined up where I want it, and then my journaling is going to slide right into that pocket. It's going to be in a top loading page protector so you can easily pull that out and read the journaling. I'm ready to finish up my title. I have the Pennant Banner Alpha. This is a great, just classic block style alpha. It does have these dies that you can cut out and make little banners with it. It's super cute. There's actually an updated version of this as well, and it's a little bit larger. So Carolina ink is not a featured color in this paper pack, but I wanted to add the blue so it coordinated with the title. I stamped it just to practice, and it's perfect. So I'm definitely going to go with this color. Write your word on a Post-it note and put it off to the side. It's definitely going to help avoid misspelled words, because when you're working backwards and just stamping, it's very easy to miss a letter. So yeah, just write it on a little piece of scratch paper or Post-it note and have that off to the side. And I am spelling out the word shredding, like shredding the gnar. That's what you do when you're snowboarding or you're mountain biking. You're shredding. So I thought instead of winter sledding, winter shredding would be kind of cool and perfect for my son. So I'm just spelling these letters. Again, I'm working backwards, and that way it kind of ended up right where I wanted it to. I'm really happy how my stamped title turned out. Let me hold this up so you can get a closer look. Again, we have our journaling hidden in a flip-flap pocket on the back side of the layout. I love the quote and the acrylic snowflakes there. And then we have our cute little snowman and our title. And I like mixing the acrylic piece with the stamped elements. I think that's really fun. Everything I used to create today's layout can be found in the description box below, so just open that up. You can find links to the recommended videos. If you're looking for more snow-themed pages, you can check out this video right here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!